We're going to start off in Sukhasana, sitting in a comfortable seat with our hands together at heart center. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead. Exhale, lean over to the right. Breathe deep here. Reach back up. Now lean over to the left with your right arm. Take deep breaths. Reach back up and lean over again to the right side, waking up your side body. Inhale your arms back up and exhale, lean over to the left again. Just moving however you want, back and forth, leaning on one side then the other. Take your time, breathe. Bring your hands back to heart center. Bring your ankles together, coming into butterfly or bound ankle pose. Open your feet up like a book and round your back down. Bring your head close to your feet. Come back up. Bring your feet in as close to your body as you can, and keeping your spine nice and long, fold forward. Take deep breaths. Come back up to seated and spread your legs out wide. Inhale your arms up overhead and exhale with a nice long spine, fold forward. Make sure to keep your feet flexed to keep your legs active. Come back up, bring your arms back up overhead. Turn your hips over to your foot, either one, and fold down. Think about bringing your stomach to your thigh. Remember, it's always better to keep a long spine than it is to get down farther. Reach back up to the sky and fold forward again. Come back up, reaching your arms up overhead and turning your body towards the other foot. Once again, folding forward, but make sure you keep your spine long. You'll find that one side is probably more flexible than the other. Just remember not to round your back and keep both of your feet flexed. Inhale your arms back up to center And once again, fold forward. Keep taking nice, deep breaths. Inhale back up. Put your feet out long in front of you and fold forward. Just remember keeping your spine long. The flexibility will come later. Or never. I've been doing this for like 15 years and I still can't fold all the way down. Now come into a squat, both feet firmly on the ground. Make sure your knees and your toes are facing the same direction. Hands together at heart center. And from here, we're going to stand right up into a standing straddle. Inhale your arms up overhead and then fold forward. Now place your right hand in the center of your mat and lift your left arm up overhead, stretching out your shoulders. Keep your hips level to the front of the mat while you do this. Come back to center, get some length, and then fold forward again. Placing your left hand in the center of the mat and lifting up your right arm this time. Place both hands back on the mat, lifting your left arm overhead. This time, if you want to, move your right hand over to your left ankle to get a deeper stretch. Back to center and lifting your right arm up and placing your left hand on your ankle, if that's your thing. Or just do whatever you want, honestly. I still love you. Okay, come back to center and back into Malasana. I love this pose. Make sure to tuck your tailbone under you. Okay, now clasp your hands around your right leg. Another really good shoulder stretch. Come back to center and then turn and clasp your hands behind your left leg. Super yummy pose. Back to center. Make your way into downward facing dog. Warming up any way you want. Come forward into plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and then back into downward facing dog. Stretch your right leg up and then put it forward in between your hands. Okay, now straighten out your right leg and fold over it. Getting a really nice stretch in your whole leg. Now bend that leg and take a lunge, stretching out your hips. Straighten it out again and fold forward. Bend your knee. And then fold forward, straightening your leg out again. And then come up and bend your knee again. Fold forward, straighten it. And then come up and bend it and stretch out your hips. Then come into plank. Bend your arms, coming into chaturanga. Look up, stretch out your back in upward dog. And then push back into downward facing dog. Lifting up your left leg and bring it in between your hands. Now straighten that leg and fold forward with a long spine. And now bend your knee and come into a lunge, stretching your hips. Now straighten it and bend it again. Straighten it and bend it again. Straighten out your leg, fold forward. Bend it and lean into that hip stretch. Now straighten your leg, folding forward. And come back into plank. Taking a chaturanga, upward facing dog. Your thighs and knees are off the ground. And coming into downward facing dog. Bring your right leg between your hands, coming into warrior two. And then lean back, bring your arm up, taking a reverse warrior pose. Come back into warrior two, straighten your front leg, lean forward to get lots of length, and come into triangle. Be sure that the heel of your front foot is aligned with the arch of your back foot. Inhale back into warrior two with that front knee bent, and then come back into plank pose. Taking a vinyasa or just coming right into downward facing dog. Bring your left leg forward. Now take a warrior two on this side. Making sure that your knee is directly over your ankle. Now reach your arm up and lean into your reverse warrior. Breathing here. Come back to warrior two. Straighten out that front leg. Lean forward as much as you can before coming down into a triangle pose. Be sure that your arms are still in the same position as they were in your warrior two, but now you're just bent over. So they should be in a T, a straight line from fingertip to fingertip. Come back up into warrior two. Then take another vinyasa or come right into downward facing dog. So plank to chaturanga to upward facing dog. And then back into downward facing dog. Step up again with your right leg, coming into a split on your right side. Just going as deep as you can. You can even stay in a half split where you keep your back knee on the ground at a 90-degree angle, like what we were doing before. Or just come into a full split. Make sure your back foot is facing directly behind you and your front foot is pointing directly in front of you. Just breathe into the stretch. Now you can slide your foot back, coming out of it, and come right back into downward facing dog. Bring your left leg forward, coming into a split on your left side. Just focus on your breath. It's a very intense stretch. Now you can come out of it and sit back into a child's pose, reaching your arms out in front of you, and then transition into downward facing dog, getting lots of length in your back. Come up into crescent pose, both feet facing forward, slightly apart, and standing on the balls of your back foot. Now turn your back foot out, flat on the ground, lining up your arch to the heel of your front foot. Bring your arms out wide into a T and coming into Warrior Two. Come back into a plank, upward facing dog, and then back into downward facing dog. Step your left leg up into crescent, arms reaching up above you. And then turn your back foot out into Warrior Two. It looks like that boat is driving through my stomach. Oh, but now it doesn't because we're back in downward facing dog. Step your right foot up and come into a standing split, bringing your left leg up above you, keeping that foot as straight as you can and lifting it up as high as you can. You could put your feet on the ground, or if you're really good at it, you can grab your bottom leg. Just breathe here. Try to stay balanced. If you fall down, just come right back into it. Now slowly place that leg down, coming into a forward fold. Grab your elbows and just rock back and forth, relaxing here. Look up, get some length, and then fold back forward. Keep your left leg on the ground and reach your right leg up behind you, coming into standing split on your left side. Just breathe here. Now you can put your leg down. And once again, grab your elbows and just relax in your forward fold. Rocking side to side or doing whatever is comfortable for you. Now look up and get some length. Reach your arms up overhead, coming into Tadasana at the front of your mat. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up, get some length in your back. And then step back into plank, coming into Chaturanga, then upward facing dog. Coming back into downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up behind you and bring it forward, coming into pigeon. Sit up straight with your leg bent in front of you. And now bend your back leg and reach your head back to meet it, coming into a variation of king pigeon. You're not using your hands, you're just using your head and your back. Your foot, just reaching for your head while your head reaches for your foot. Just breathe into it. Put your leg down and then fold forward, coming into pigeon pose. Breathing here, making sure that you keep your right foot flexed and your back leg is pointed out directly behind you. If this hurts your knee at all, immediately get out of it and just wait for us in child's pose. That goes for anything in the practice too. You can always wait for us in child's pose. Slowly come back up. Come back into downward facing dog, keeping your right leg still raised. And now bend it and stretch out your hip. Place it back down into downward facing dog. And lift up your left leg, bringing it down into pigeon. Now bend your back knee. Lean your head back and your foot forward, trying to touch your foot with your head. Just breathe here. Your head never has to touch your foot. We're just trying to. Now straighten that back leg out, making sure the toes are pointed directly behind you. And fold all the way forward, coming into a nice pigeon pose. And coming out of it if your knee hurts, because you should never stretch your knee. Now slowly come up and out of it, lifting your left leg up, bending your knee and stretching out your hip in a three-legged dog. And then put it back down into downward facing dog. Come and sit. And lay down on your back and bring your knees into your chest. Bring your arms out long in a T. Put your knees off to one side and look over the opposite side, stretching out your back. Come back to center. And put your knees over to the other side, looking the other way. Bring your knees back to your chest and make circles, giving your back a massage. And now slowly come into Shavasana, our final resting pose and the most important pose of your practice. Just close your eyes and relax. Slowly start to move your hands and your feet, lifting your arms up overhead. Roll over onto your right side, curl up into a nice little ball. Stay here for as long as you want, honestly. Keep your eyes closed, and if you're ready, slowly come up into a seated position for our meditation. Keeping your eyes closed and keeping your body still, your mind clear. Focusing only on the rhythm of your breath. Remember not to move, although you might start to feel uncomfortable. And as your mind may wander, just bring it back to focus on your breath. Take the next few minutes to meditate on your own, keeping your eyes closed until I tell you to come out of it. Now, very slowly, open your eyes. Bring your palms together at heart center. Remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to the universe, and be kind to all life everywhere. Namaste.